And I think the newer generation are more people.
Yeah.
And remember kids in her bed, and all of a sudden, they don't want to be in her bed.
Okay, 2 minutes.
The security thing was still.
Yeah.
They don't really start with the money.
Everybody's taking a break.
Look, Galen's so lucky he's the nail.
Yeah, you have to sit out here. Wow.
Make it look crowded.
Look how crowded.
There's stuff going on this weekend.
Yeah, is that right?
Class reunion,
So worst case scenario, we put the bear over here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We'll put the we gotta have all those, what did they do at games? They have all pictures of people at the
Yeah.
games and students.
One of the temples did that. They had portraits of everybody, and they made cutouts, and they put the entire membership cutouts, and they took a picture
Oh,
during the pandemic.
oh, maybe we gotta have to do that.
Okay, I'm going to ring the conch show. Do a slow one. So.
Oh, yeah, just started on the days.
I can't get the slide.
So it looks like we're stuck on something there.
Oh, there we go. Finish that
Okay.
one. Okay.
Well, let's jump ahead to the next one.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, there we go. There we go. Good morning. Louder. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Let us begin the service by singing the Vedana Tisarana. I'm sorry, I forgot to welcome you. Welcome to Makawao Honganji Buddhist Temple, and I'm Sharon, and I'll be your MC for this morning. Let us begin the service by singing the Vedana Tisarana together in both Pali and English. Please rise if you are able to.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo.
Please be seated. We'll now chant the Gasho with Amida. The words may be found on the handout or also be found on the screens.
I don't have the words in front of me.
Right? And this will be followed by quiet sitting.
Truth unchanging, I show with Amida. Remember the golden chain, kindness to all living things. I will follow this teaching. I show with Amida. In the clear bright morning sun, in the fading light of day, in the darkness of the night, I show with Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. I live in great compassion. This great power guides my life. I show with Amida. The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namanda Vitsanamanda Vitsanamanda Vitsanamanda. No. Let's sit together quietly for a few moments. So just relax and get comfortable. If you are able, sit forward in your seat and place both feet flat on the ground. Sit up straight, align your head, neck, shoulders, and back in a straight line that goes down to the floor. Place your hands comfortably in your lap. Now close your eyes and just breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. In and out. As you breathe in, you'll feel energy filling your body. And as you breathe out, any stress or worries in your mind just fade away. Just breathe. The sound of the gong will signal the end of our quiet meditation.
right. We will now have offering of incense and offertory. We encourage everyone, both here and in person and at home, joining us by live stream, to offer incense and reflect upon the continued influence of departed loved ones and honored ancestors in this unrepeatable life. Very much. All right, let us now recite the golden chain of love together. Are we ready? I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that what I do now depends not only on my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida. And now it's children's story time.
Live, oops, that's not Barkley, that's me. Live from Makawao, it's Children's Dharma Story Time, starring Barkley the dog and Lucy the ladybug. Ready? Hi, good morning. Aloha kaka yaka. Wow, it's me, Barkley the dog. The rascal dog. Where's the camera? There's the camera. Mahalo for joining us here in the historic Makawao town, the beautiful island of Maui, the great state of Hawaii. Good morning. Aloha kako. Aloha for everyone. I'm so happy to see all of you here this morning. Looks like we have the entire refreshments team. Barkley, let's put on our magic glasses from Maui Optics and see who's with us this morning. Well, that's a great idea, Lucy. Let's see. I can see Elias and Emily, and Kalena, Tyrus, and Tori, and Benji, and Linda, Kalana, Kala, Emmy, and Micah, Nolan, and Cora, Linda, Noah, and Meliana, and Wesley, Sierra, Lindsay, and Kenneth, and Melody, and Cadence, and Honolulu, and Madison, and Colorado, and Sensei buddies around the world. Hey, wait. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. Thank you for joining the fun. We have a great story for you today. Yes, that's right, Barkley. It's one of Sensei's favorite stories. Today's story is The Three Pigs by David Weisner. The Three Pigs by David Weisner. Once upon a time, there were three pigs who went out into the world to seek their fortune. The first pig decided to build a house, and he built it out of straw. Along came a wolf who knocked at the door and said, little pig, let me come in." The pig answered, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." And the wolf said, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." So the wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew the house in. Hey, he blew me right out of the story and ate the pig up. Now the second pig built his house out of sticks. Along came the wolf who knocked at the door and said, little pig, let me come in. And the pig answered, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. And the wolf said, then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. Come on, it's safe out here. So the wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew the house in and ate the pig up. The third pig built his house out of bricks. Wow, how come you two didn't get eaten up? We got away from that wolf for good. Now we have room to move. Watch this. Oops. Let's explore this place. Okay, just let me fold this up. Whee! Uh-oh. Oof. Hey, over there. Wait, what's that? I think someone's out there. Come help me with this. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon. Let's get out of here. Who? Where to? This one, come on. How about it over here? Oops. Hold still. High on a hill there lived a great dragon, who stood guard over roads made of the purest gold. The king was determined to own this treasure, so he sent his eldest son to slay the dragon and bring back the golden rose. Come with us, hurry! Many thanks for rescuing me, O brave and noble swine. Don't mention it. Look who's here. Welcome. Hey, diddle diddle. Now what? Find something? What is this? It's my place. Notice the brickwork. I did it myself. A fine castle, methinks. Yes, it's very nice. You know what? Let's go home. Good idea. We just have to pick these up. Along came a wolf who knocked at the door and said, little pig, let me come in. And the pig answered, not by the hair of my chin chin chin. And the wolf said, then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. The wolf huffed and he... Okay, that's enough. Come inside, everyone. Soup's on. I think we're going to like it here. And they lived happily ever after. The end. Hey, wasn't that a great story? What part of the story did you like? Really? I love that part too. I loved how the three pigs escaped from the storybook and then started being rascals by showing up in other people's stories and storybooks and escaping with the other characters and then coming back home to their own storybook. Bam! Doesn't that sound like fun? Wouldn't it be super cool if the Dharma buddies could travel through the TV screen and join us here in person at the temple? Then Melody and Cadence could be up here helping Sensei with the children's Dharma story time. How about you, Lucy the Ladybug, the love of my life? What part y'all like? Mahalo for asking, Barkley. I loved how the three pigs immediately wanted to share their adventure with their new friends. The cat with the fiddle and the cow who jumped over the moon. Everything is always more fun when you share it with your friends. Yeah, that's right. How about you, Sensei? Well, I loved how the wolf was like, where'd the pigs go? In the last frame of each story, because usually the wolf gets to eat the pigs. But, hey, no pigs, no rights. That's right. I also like how they saved the dragon from the other story, too. And in the end, they all lived happily ever after. Isn't that great? The three pigs, the cat and the fiddle, and the cow who jumped over the moon, and the dragon. Wee, when that pesky wolf comes back, won't he get a big surprise? Little pig, little pig, little pig, little pig, let me in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Oh, Barkley, you're such a rascal. The wolf would be really surprised if the dragon answered the door. Wee, you got that right, Lucy Ladybug, love my life. Say, Sensei, what are you going to be for Halloween? Well, I'm going to be joining the fun at the Haunted Honganji event on Saturday, October 29th, starting at 5:30. There's going to be photo taking, hot dog dinner, costume parade, trick-or-treating, and the movie Hocus Pocus. Just remember, kids, you got to tell Mimi real soon that you want to be a trick-or-treater. Or if your mommy or daddy or grandma or grandpa want to be a treat giver. Wait, that sounds like a good time. Hey, Michan, heads up. Me and Lucy Ladybug are crashing your party. Oh, Barkley, always the rascal. I don't have a costume yet. Gee, what are we going to do? Well, what do you say we go to the social hall and grab some refreshments and brainstorm a great costume idea for you? Bam! Oh, Barkley, you have me at refreshments. Let's go. Fade away. So remember, kids, be good. But not too much. Okay. So just as a note for the adults, when I first looked at this book, I'm going, what is going on here? I think it actually works better if you're reading it directly, the pictures on the slides. It's kind of confusing, but it's a remarkable change in perspective. So be good, but not too much. Okay, kids, you can go to sleep now. Because Sensei is going to talk about the poisons of our wisdom and foolishness. So let's begin with the words of Shinran Shonin. In reflecting on the great ocean of Shinjin, I realized there is no discrimination between the noble and humble, or black-robed monks and white-clothed laity. No differentiation between man and woman, old and young. The amount of evil one has committed is not considered. The duration of any performance of religious practices is of no concern. It is a matter of neither practice nor good acts, neither sudden attainment nor gradual attainment, neither meditative practice nor non-meditative practice, neither right contemplation nor wrong contemplation, neither thought nor thought, neither daily life nor the moment of death, and neither many calling nor once calling. Sorry, one slide. It is simply Shinjin that is inconceivable, inexplicable, and indescribable. It is like the medicine that eradicates all poisons. The medicine of the Tathagata's vow destroys the poisons of our wisdom and foolishness. The words of Shinran Shonin in the collected works of Shinran, page 107. So this is actually one of the more, let's jumping ahead too far. One of the more remarkable passages in the collected works of Shinran. In this passage, Shinran says, teaches, it makes absolutely no difference, whether you're of noble or humble birth, whether you're a monk, lay person, it doesn't matter what your gender is, what your age is. It doesn't matter if you do Buddhist practice or you perform virtuous acts. It's not about sudden attainment of enlightenment, which is the Zen tradition, or the gradual attainment of enlightenment. So meditation or non-meditation, whether your birth in the Pure Land is settled in everyday life, or whether it's at the moment of death, whether it's saying Namo Amida Butsu many, many times or just one time. So one of Shinran's radical teachings was that none of these factors play any role in settling your birth into the Pure Land, becoming Buddha, and then returning to this world of human confusion and delusion and oneness with Amida to guide others. So without getting into too much technical detail, Shinran has just said, no need to the other schools of Buddhism that were established at the time, the other paths and traditions of Buddhism. To be clear, Shinran just offended every Buddhist school in Japan by asserting, no need, if you have received the faith of Shinjin, through the working of Amida's vow to save all, you don't need to go to church, you don't need a priest, you don't need to give massive amounts of money. One of the virtuous acts
was to give lots of money to the temple. So rich people would give lots and lots of money to the temple, and they would build these big pagodas. Okay? And that accumulates virtue. So here's $1 million pagoda, boom, I get $1 million worth of karma credit. I guess you could put it that way. If you didn't have any money, oops, you're kind of stuck. You're kind of stuck. So this is part of the reason why the Nembutsu teachings were so radical at the time. So remember, right, this is why Shinran and his great teacher Honen, they were stripped of their licenses as priests. Right? They were exiled, which is better than being executed like 4 of Honen's disciples. So in this teaching, Shinran is saying, oops, so I lost the slide there. He's saying it makes no difference if you're rich or poor, old or young, good or evil, monk or lay person. So in modern times, Shinran would definitely agree that identity, as in LGBTQIA or not, makes absolutely no difference to Amida. Political affiliation makes no difference to Amida. Whether you're able to engage in Buddhist practice, quote unquote, or not, it makes no difference. You don't need to chant the sutras, you don't need to meditate, you don't need to live a monk's life. And by extension, there's no need to come to Sunday service at the temple. So it matters not whether you realize enlightenment instantaneously, as in Zen, or gradually, after arduous practice, like in Theravada, or gradually after fulfilling all the vows of the Bodhisattva, as in Mahayana tradition. It doesn't matter if one's birth is settled in the midst of this life or at the end of life, by performing rites and rituals to welcome Amida and the 2 Bodhisattva to come and bring you forth to the Pure Land. Whether you say Namo Amida Butsu 10,000 times or 1 time, it doesn't matter to Amida. All that matters is the fate of Shinji. So believe it or not, these were all doctrinal arguments going on during Shinran's life. The reason why the book is so big, the collected works of Shinran is so big, is because he was addressing every one of these accusations from the other Buddhist traditions. And Shinran, again, he comes back to all that matters is the fate of Shinjin, the heart of great compassion, the mind of absolute non-discrimination. So the heart and mind of Amida becoming our heart and mind. And this is Namo Amida. So before Shinran, all of these things matter. It's very powerful. So for centuries, the Buddhist path to enlightenment was only open to people willing and able, right, in quotes, to renounce the world, shave their heads, become monks, and practice and study until they reach enlightenment or die trying. Now in Shinran's time, willing and able meant being able to make very large donations to the temple, right, or so that you could become a monk. Right, somebody's got to pay for the food and stuff. Or you could build your own temple. Or you could retire from this world and become a monk or a nun. So, for example, the widows of the shogun, right, the wife of the shogun passes away. They often would take tamshu. They would often, shave their heads and become nuns, female disciples of the Buddha, and spend the rest of their days in luxurious seclusion, away from the public eye, to avoid political conflict. Right? You don't want the wife of the last shogun to be hanging around and affecting things. So it's basically, you can't go kill the wife of the former shogun. So you have to retire, and they would go off and they make these beautiful, beautiful gardens and temples, and they would live out their days as a nun, or as a monk. Some of the most peaceful and beautiful gardens that you can find in Kyoto are examples of this tradition. So before Shinran, what you did for a living could prevent you from any hope of enlightenment. If you were a hunter, if you were a fisher, if you were a butcher, if you were a sex worker, if you worked with dead bodies or animal skins, you were karmically defiled. You were impure. And there was no way that you could erase that karmic consequence. So if you were born into a family of farmers, of hunters, and that's what you do for a living, karmically, right, there's no hope for you. You're just accumulating this negative karma by killing things. Except the only way you can erase it is by becoming a monk, performing virtuous acts, so building merit through good deeds, basically donating huge amounts of money to the priest, to the temple. And if you didn't have that kind of money, too bad. So the path of monastic practice was actually only open to the noble classes and extremely wealthy merchants and warriors. Peasants and untouchables had no hope. The great ocean of Shinjin is described as inconceivable, inexplicable, and indescribable because the medicine of the Tathagatas, of Amida's vow, destroys the poisons of our wisdom and foolishness. And that last line is really kind of interesting, right? Destroys the poisons of our wisdom and foolishness. I think most people would think foolishness, karmically defined as ignorance of the truth, so believing in the delusion of self, just being utterly human, that this is a poison, right? That foolishness, ignorance in other traditions. Or if you remember Dr. Ken Tanaka's acronym GAS, right? Greed, anger, stupidity. So the S is stupidity. Is another way to say foolishness or ignorance. But wisdom, right, is not usually thought of one of the poisons. It's certainly not, doesn't show up in the list of the 3 poisons. It's not one of the 108 Bonno blind passions that create physical, mental, or psychological suffering. So what does Shinran mean when he says, the Tathagata's vow, the primal vow, the Hongan and Honganji, destroys the poisons of our wisdom and foolishness? So there's a concept in Buddhism that says there's actually 2 realities. So Shinzoku Nitai, the human reality in which we live, and true or absolute reality. So I often use the terms, right, reality as my ego wants it to be. Right? That's human reality. It's the way I want reality to be. As opposed to reality as it is, which is absolute reality, which is Amida's reality, to explain this nuance. Right? I mean, I want to think it's supposed to go the way I want to, but that's the formula for unhappiness. Human reality, of course, is the world that we live in, a world of confusion and delusion, and this is called the realm of samsara in the Buddhist cosmology. So in the human world, right, our human wisdom says, work hard, get ahead, enjoy retirement. Right? Or make lots and lots of money really, really, really fast and retire early. Or win the lottery, retire, and be happy forever. So that's human wisdom, right? Because human wisdom also says our success, your success, is measured by accomplishments, the titles that you accumulate. It's, your success is measured by money. Right? You're not success unless you have lots and lots of money. By your material possessions, if you have a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, no, I want a 10-bedroom, 15-bathroom house, or whatever it is. Or you have power, you have influence, you have celebrity, you have fame. So human wisdom says, if only I had more money, a bigger house, a faster car, I'd be happy. Now the Buddha's wisdom says all of these things arise from causes and conditions, thus are impermanent, constantly changing. They have no self. They have no inherent value in and of themselves. So attachment to these things inevitably results in dukkha, in dissatisfaction, unhappiness, and suffering. So the truth of dependent origination, the truth of impermanence, the truth of non-self, the truth of the cause and end of all suffering, all of the Buddha's wisdom is available to us. And we have free books in the lobby. And yet, we ignore it. And yet we ignore it. And this is the realm of human reality as my ego wants it to be. So that's our instinctively self-centered, it's about me view of the world. Our attachment to this reality as my ego wants it to be, to a reality that I want. And this is the true obstacle in the path. So having glimpsed the absolute truth, right, how many of us are able to internalize that truth in such a way that we live every moment of each day of this unrepeatable life mindfully, with strength and serenity, empowered to be kind and gentle to every living thing? We'd like to think so. Right? I'd like to think so. But to be honest, I fall short every day. So Shinran asserts that this is the human condition, knowing the truth, knowing the absolute truth, yet being doomed to ignore it. And this is the poison of human wisdom and foolishness. And thus, Shinran teaches the only medicine that can destroy the poison of our human, egocentric wisdom is the inconceivable, indescribable, and inexplicable power of Amida's vow to save all. The primal vow, the 18th vow, the Hongan in Honganji. So the great ocean of Shinjin, the faith of Shinjin is vast and deep, able to accept all people just as they are, and destroy the poison of our human wisdom and foolishness just as we are. And this is not Amida's. This is the great ocean of Shinjin, Amida's all-inclusive wisdom and all-embracing compassion working in your life, leading you to the faith of Shinjin, settling your going forth to birth in the Pure Land, becoming Buddha, and returning to this world in oneness with Amida to save all. And this is the message of hope in Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. Anyone and everywhere, anyone and everyone, anywhere and everywhere, just as you are embraced by great compassion and wisdom. And you can enter the great ocean of the fate of changing. So having settled one's birth through the inconceivable working of the vow, we are liberated from the bondage of selfishness, and we can live each moment of every day of this unrepeatable life as it unfolds naturally, just as we are, in strength and serenity, and responding in gratitude to the great love and great compassion of Amida Buddha. Namo Buddhas. So in conclusion, let's reflect upon the words of Haru Matsuda, Issei pioneer who lived in the Big Island, and a person of rare and wondrous faith of Shinji. Embraced by Namo Amida Butsu, I vowed never to complain. Thinking thus, again, I complained. Namo Amida Butsu. Well, thank you very much for listening this morning. May your day be filled with aloha.
Thank you, Reverend Carrie, for your Dharma message. We will now chant the Metta Sutra, the Loving Kindness Sutra, together with Reverend Carrie.
If I can find the words, sorry.
Okay?
Yep.
All right.
May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Reverend Carrie will now lead us in gratitude meditation.
Let's sit together quietly for a few moments. So just relax and get comfortable. If you're able, sit forward in your seat and place both feet flat on the ground. Sit up straight, line your head, neck, shoulders, and back in a straight line that goes down to the feet. Place your hands comfortably in your lap. Now close your eyes halfway so that you're looking both outwardly and inwardly. And just breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. In and out. As you breathe in, think of something for which you are grateful. As you breathe out, just say mahalo. Just say thank you, thank you, thank you. Just breathe. The sound of the gong will signal the end of our quiet meditation.
Okay. Please rise if you're able and let us sing Ondo Kusan, the hymn of gratitude, written by Shinran Chunin, which will be found on the screen or the handout or on page 134 the Right Service Book. Okay, please remain standing for the Nembutsu.
When I consider deeply the vow of Amida, which arose from 5 kalpas of profound thought, I realize it was entirely for the sake of myself alone. Then how I am filled with gratitude for the primal vow, in which Amida resolved to save me, though I am burdened with such heavy karma. The wisdom of Shinran Shonin. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu.
Please be seated. Once again, thank you for all of you joining us in our family Dharma service today. Announcements?
Sure. I'd like to first point out, you might have noticed that the circle lamps, the chrysanthemum ring lamps, and then the hanging lamps, the tsuritoro, are much, much shinier than before. Before last week's 115th and 50th, Mimi and Sharon did the tradition of komigaki, which is to clean and polish the adornments of the altar. So thank you to Sharon, to Mimi, for taking the time to do that. It looks nice and shiny. I just noticed a light bulb on that side, so I'll have to change that one around. So thank you so much. So next Sunday's service is the Sunday Fun Day service, Halloween. Wear a costume if you like. And it could be the same costume from Saturday, which is Halloween of Makawao Honganji. So from 5:30, not potluck dinner, sorry, it's supposed to be hot dog dinner, games, movies, trick-or-treating at the temple. So if you'd like to be a treat giver, or if you know one of their kids, grandchildren would like to be a trick-or-treater, please let me know as soon as possible. We're trying to get head count. The seminar details are going to be coming out this coming week. Maui Nandutsu seminar, November 19th and 20th. It'll be here in person at Makawao Honkanji, but also live streamed. Currently, we've got more than 50 people signed up, and 75% of them are live streamed. So and coming from as far away as Japan and Brazil, and pretty much everywhere on the mainland. So it's pretty impressive. Columbarium is open every day, 8:30 to 5. And oops. Anybody else have any announcements?
Oh, the senior fair this Saturday.
Senior fair is this Saturday.
Right. 8 to,
at
I think it's 8 to
8
12.
o'clock or something?
8 to 12
8 to 12.
at the War Memorial Gym.
Very good.
Okay, come and visit us.
Yes,
There'll be a
'cause
table.
we have premium space, which we
Yeah,
wanted to
premium
keep, so
space.
it would be right there. So bring lots of cash and buy lots of stuff.
Anything else?
Anybody else? If not, everyone's welcome to
Yeah.
enjoy refreshments and talk story in the social hall.
And thank you for those who brought refreshments.
There you go. So I think the refreshments team plus me and Mimi and Damon, let's go.
Thank you very much.
So thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, if you touch that, everything stops.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay.
It's not running in sequence with the slides yet.
I know you said teachers and
Yeah, I thought I changed it because it was all kind of a weird sequence. All family, friends before teachers. Teachers, friends. Because this is not like school teachers, it means like spiritual masters kind of. Anyway, we have to make it in parallel because it's like every Sunday I'm reading the wrong words.
sorry, make it a little louder, really.